Hey y'all!
Hello.
What's up?
What's cracking?
It's snowing!
Don't get wet.
Alright, let's see. What are we gonna say?
Let's talk about
So we're out of school today.
2 days in a row. But we're supposed to have our surprise party for our teacher.
It's our teacher's birthday this weekend. So we need a topic.
So what we're gonna do for our teacher's birthday.
Okay.
Okay, well it was supposed to be like today. We're gonna
do it today.
But see that?
It's snow.
So we're out of school.
It's like slippery grass.
But watch me like flip.
We're not nerds.
I don't know. Just kidding. Okay, so okay, get back on the topic.
I'm cold.
Her name is Miss Richardson.
Yeah. Look her up.
Stalk her.
Yeah, you should. You should go to her house.
Anyway, she was turning 40. Just kidding. I don't know.
She's turning like 30 something.
Maybe 30. It's cold in here, in this atmosphere. Well, let's go run through these slips first.
Don't step them, okay?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That was me.
You look like a dumbass.
You have to fall, dude.
I don't want to fall. Alright. Oh no, I fell.
I don't want to go by myself.
It'll melt. Alright. So, we want to know if you have ever done something special for your teacher.
No.
You guys really want to know? Comment, rate, subscribe,
add us.
You gotta be our
and
friend.
check out the channel.
If you like Justin Bieber. If you don't, then you should fuck off. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, I didn't say the F word, I said duck. In case you didn't hear me. Yeah, we'll edit that out. Alright, bye. Ow. Hey, no, this is how we're gonna end it.